Colin Russo here with ESPN West Palm, joined now by official FAU assistant basketball coach Isaiah Austin, former Baylor superstar. Coach, I appreciate you joining us today. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
So let's get into this. Now you're officially a coach now, getting involved with these type of guys. What has it been as a former player yourself to get acclimated with these guys, a bunch of guys from different backgrounds? How has that been so far?
I think it's been fairly easy. I'm a very cultured man. I've traveled all over the world. We got a lot of Europeans on our team. We got a lot of guys who come from similar backgrounds as myself. So it's been easy for me to connect with them.
Yeah. Coach, you had such a great career at Baylor. Of course, the Marfan syndrome incident, and then, of course, the stuff with Adam Silver. But then you played overseas, had a long career of just jumping around, playing in a bunch of different EuroLeague spots. What has that been in terms of teaching you how to coach basketball? Now you've seen a dozen other coaches in EuroLeagues, also in American leagues as well. How has that, I guess, helped you define your coaching identity?
I think it just helped me learn to break down the game, because every place that I played, it had a different style of play. And I know that, it's the same thing with college basketball. You're going to get some fast-paced games. You're going to get some games where you got to slow down and actually run sets. So it's helped me to be able to transition in the fact that I know as we're going into a game, or as if I'm doing a scout, or if we're trying to scheme, I know what to throw at a different team who might be playing slow, who might be trying to speed the game up and play fast.
What did your experience, of course, going to Baylor and then having such a successful career, the Marfan syndrome kind of halted your career in a sense. What did that teach you about valuing the game of basketball and about the importance of the people around you, support system, coaches, but also valuing the game itself?
Yeah, it's just a humbling experience. And I think the main thing that I learned from it all is relationships over everything. Is, our motto here at FAU this year that Coach Jacobs has implemented for the team is just like, your relationships matter more than anything else. Basketball is fine. Like, what happened to me on basketball is completely fine. But if I would have been burning bridges, if I wouldn't have been keeping my relationships with the people that I loved and people who were uplifting me during those tough times, then I wouldn't be in this position here today.
And you mentioned how you had experience with the European ball. About half the roster essentially has European experience playing basketball. It's a different brand. Yeah. We know the FIBA, or even in the younger professional leagues, they play with a little bit more nuance. They play with a little more fluidity, moving the ball. Something that has kind of escaped in a lot of senses American basketball. What can you say about how important it is to have guys with Euroball experience, but also how you want that to translate to how FAU is going to run their hoops team?
I think for us it translates because we're going to have 11 guys who can get out there any moment and contribute for our team. And for us to be able to share the ball, and for everybody to be able to get shots and everybody to be able to get stops on defense, it just helps the momentum of the team. And I think that, our team has done a great job with bonding with each other, and both on and off the court. But because they're so good of friends off the court, it helps them with their fluidity on the court. So I think that we're a step ahead of what most people might think that we are for our first year being here.
And what have you guys done in terms of team building, making sure that these guys are acclimated with each other, not only from a coaching staff perspective and making sure the coaches and the players are in touch and in tune, but also from the players itself? What are some things that you guys have done, whether off the court, on the court, that have helped build those relationships?
Man, the question is, what haven't we done? I mean, we do team dinners. We break up, our assistant coaches into different groups. So some coaches will be with the bigs, some coaches will be with the guards. We have a couple players who've been hurt. We've been taking them to the hospital. We've been picking them up, taking them to the grocery store. Just showing them that we're there for them as human beings first. I think is the most important thing and role that you can have as a coach. So they trust us when it comes down to practice, and we have to get on them for missing a rotation or missing an open man. They don't take it personal because they know that we're actually putting into their lives outside of basketball. And I think that's why all these guys came here, is because we emphasized it from the very beginning that we are going to be pouring into you as young men first, and then basketball is going to come second. We care about their livelihood, we care about their families. Like, Coach Jacobs doesn't mind if my son comes to practice and runs around the gym with his Nerf guns or with his friends. That's the type of environment that we're trying to embody here at FAU, and I think we've done a great job with it so far.
How has your coach process, what is that like? Are you you hard on them? Are you more of the relatable type of coach? But do you mix in a sense of both? Do the players need to relate to you? Do they need to, in a sense, like understand the power there? What has your coaching process be in terms of these guys?
I think it varies. Like with certain guys, I definitely have a softer coaching approach. But with some guys, I can be more stern. You know, and I just try to embody my own personality. Like I don't try to be somebody that I'm not. Like I know that when I'm on the court at all times, I turn into a different human being, and I'm very detailed oriented. I'm focused. I'm always locked in, and I expect that from our players because at the end of the day, you're only practicing for 2 to 3 hours a day. And the rest of the time when you're at home, you're resting, you're spending time with your friends, your family. You probably aren't scrolling on your phone. So I require and I expect for our players when they come into practice to be locked in for 2 hours. So I get on the guys. I'm very vocal. I'm intense. And, that's just the type of person that I am, though, with life in general. When I care about something and I love something, I give it my all. And I'm giving these players my all each and every day. And I expect them to give us their all as well.
Coach, I appreciate you joining me. One last question here. In terms of your playing career, of course, defensively, you are as stout as they come in terms of versatility, jumping around. You got a lot of guys here who have a ton of size and a lot of defensive versatility. What has your playing experience, how does that lend itself to developing these guys and making sure that defensively but also offensively they're effective, they're versatile, but also they play the right way?
I think it's helped. It's relatable because I just finished playing a Big 3 season this summer, so the guys actually see me, playing away from the basket and see me playing inside and see me playing from the mid-range. So, when I ask them to play a certain way or I ask them to go get an easy basket instead of them shying away and just trying to shoot jump shots, they listen to me because they see that I've actually played at a high level and that I can compete with NBA talent. So I think that coming from a guy who has had the experience of actually being on the court and being tested through the fire, it's actually helped them grow as well. So when we work on our player development, it's not like, guys are smacking their lips at me or rolling their eyes at me if I ask them to do a drill. It's like, okay, if this is what he did to get to where he was in his career, then, it's good enough for me. And that's why I respect about all these young men is that they listen and they actually care and they actually want to come in and work and be coached. Nobody in here wants to be babied, and that's why I think we're going to be a pretty special group this year.
Coach, I appreciate you joining me on Media Day here at FAU. Enjoy the season. Best of luck to you and your guys.
I appreciate it.